Good afternoon, teacher and everyone. The topic of today is the importance of promoting empathy. According to the educator Walter Fisher, social behavior can be defined simply as the interaction between at least two people. It is a broad topic that includes both spoken words and unspoken physical movements. There are many examples of social behavior as, for example, when you're in a party or in a social event or in an athletic event or any other gathering. As we all know, at this time has become harder and harder to express our social behavior since social media has become so relevant. We know that this is causing a drop in conventional interactions between human beings. That's why it is found that now more than ever, it is so essential to teach children and young people how to build up their emotional intelligence towards others, which is going to lead us to develop or improve our empathic skills. When we talk about empathy, we mean to put ourselves in others person's position and to try to understand them in the best way possible. Indeed, empathy is the ability to enter in the life of another person and exactly perceive their feelings and emotions and their meanings. According to Shapiro, part of being empathic is also to be a good listener. Sometimes we, as adults, think that we are good listeners, right? But in reality, we are not. So Shapiro gave us three steps that we all can take to be better listeners. And the first one is to focus on what the people or this person in front of us is speaking, is saying. The second one is not interrupt. And the third one is know, and let the person know that you care about what they are taking or talking about. And what is so important to them in their lives. And there are many things that you can do to connect to this person. Like you can ask how they are feeling, how they are doing lately, and just be there for them. Just listen carefully. In that way, they're gonna know, they're gonna realize that they're gonna see your body language. That's a important focus here. Like when you approach this person, he knows that you really care for what they saying, for what your body shows. We get to the conclusion that it's so important to teach children to have empathy. With other kids, it's actually essential, even since we start in raising them. So that's why we believe that nurturing your kids with these values are important, like respect, equality, just all these different values. These different essential messages that kids have to know even when they're babies. That just remind me too a story I found in YouTube a couple weeks ago. And there was this story about a mom who was coming back from her work to her house. So she entered to her house and she found her son on the couch, just playing video games, watching TV. And she had a gift. She had a box, and she put that box on the table in front of him. So she's like, "Okay, open your gift." And he's like, "All right, mom, I'll do it by later." So he had like curiosity about it, and he opened it. Then the mom just left because her boss was calling her, so she went upstairs. So he opened the gift, and a puppy just jumped up. There was a puppy inside the box, and he was like so, like he was asking himself like, "This is so weird. I had never had a puppy." And then he saw that the puppy was lame, so he was mad about it. He was mad and he just threw the puppy away and he continued watching television, playing video games. And then you can see that the dog is walking around, on the living room, in the living room, and he found like a bowl, like a little bowl, and he approached to this boy. And the boy realized that the puppy had to do a lot of effort, like an extra effort, to like go with the bowl until his place, because he was like limping, and he just like saw him, and he was like, "Mom, we're gonna be outside playing." That's what he said to his mom. So here we can see that although at the beginning the young boy didn't want to be with the puppy because he was lame and everything, then he knew that his puppy was doing like an extra effort to be with him and approach to him. And what is so awesome about this story is that you can see before this young boy leaves the house to play in the yard with his puppy, he was lame too. So the mom knew that she had to find a way to make her son stop spending too much time by his own and being alone in video games, to instead be with a little friend that was a puppy that it was also without a leg. So that's just an example of how we can connect with other persons. It could be our families, it could be our friends, literally could be anyone. Another example of an empathetic person is Luis Versallo, a businessman that sells oxygen to a reasonable price. And we all know that there are many people here in Peru that are taking advantages of the need of the people who is sick. We know that we are all into this pandemic time, and there are many people who are sick, and these businessmen, they just sell the oxygen at whatever the price they want to sell it. But instead of doing that, Luis Barzallo just sells the oxygen for 15 soles, just a reasonable price, instead of like taking advantage of it and just put like super high prices for it. And that just shows us that he knows that there are many people who doesn't have the resources to pay, doesn't have the resources to treat a sick relative. So he knows that the right thing to do is be a nice human being and being good with his neighbor and just sell that oxygen to a good price. And that's a perfect example of an empathetic person. And it shows me a lot, actually, because there are a lot of bad things happening nowadays, but there are also good stuff. There are also good people that knows that we can be different. We can change the world, but it has to start from here, from ourselves, and then show to the rest of the world that we can be better persons.